Hello, everybody. Getting started right at 6 o'clock, right on time. My name is Aaliyah Brockbank, and I am the Clinical Communications Manager for Sinclair North America. I apologize for kind of a different background this time. I am in Oklahoma for our technology showcase in Tulsa tomorrow, so get a nice hotel background. Not the best lighting this time, but that's okay. It'll definitely do. I am so excited everyone is on. We really appreciate you spending your busy Wednesday evening with us. And I'm really excited for tonight's topic. I always say that, but I am really excited for this topic, and it is increasing patient retention. So very important part of your business. And patient retention is the percentage of patients that return back to your clinic within a given time, right? You can look at your daily retention rate, your weekly, your monthly, your yearly, and so on. But patient retention rate is really more than just a number or a statistic. It really is a testament to the health and success of your business, and it really shows the satisfaction of your patients as well. So without further ado, I will get started here. Let me just share my screen. I always have so many tabs open, so got to find the right one. Oh, and that is not the right one. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Just a second. Here we go. Okay, so increasing patient retention. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to get started here. So first of all, why should you focus on patient retention? Why is it so important? First, it enhances clinical outcomes, which everyone wants, right? Everyone wants the best results. So when you have loyal patients, they are more likely to follow through with your treatment and product recommendations. They are seeing you more often. They are spending more money with you, which is great, right? That's always a bonus. So naturally, they are just seeing better outcomes and most likely doing more combination treatments as well, which we all know, more combination treatments means better, faster results. It also helps to increase profits and recurrent revenue. So when you have a very loyal patient base, you can really count on them to keep your schedule busy, which means more money and more revenue, rather than really relying on constantly acquiring new patients, who maybe aren't as loyal to you. You can really count on your loyal patient base. Plus, it's way more, or it's easier, I should say, to predict your revenue as well when you have that very loyal patient base. It also reduces cost. So if something reduces cost and increases profits, it's great, right? It's something everyone wants. So on average, it is $250 to $1,000 to acquire a new patient. So quite expensive. And we'll talk more about those statistics shortly. So rather than, again, focusing on constantly acquiring new patients, focus on the patient base you have, and we'll talk about different strategies on how you can increase patient retention and really keep loyal patients. It also builds a great reputation. So we all know when you have a patient that loves you and is loyal to you and they have great outcomes, they will tell everyone they know, usually. They will tell their mom and their sister, their best friend, they'll bring their husband in, and then those patients that they brought in are then bringing their friends and family. They really trust you with their face and their body. Therefore, they feel comfortable inviting and recommending you to the people that they love. This also brings reviews as well, and we'll talk about why reviews are so important. And as well as social media posts, right? If they're posting you on social media, that is then going to their followers who are most likely your target audience. So a win-win. It also reduces no-shows. No-shows are the worst. When you're all set up for your patient and they don't show up, it's the worst. But what is worse than that is the money that you just lost out on because they no-showed you or canceled last minute. So if we can reduce no-shows, that is always a great thing. Your loyal patient base, they're way less likely to no-show on you, right? You've built rapport with them, you've built a relationship with them. They are more likely to respect your time versus maybe a newly acquired patient who doesn't know you quite yet. And for no-shows, it is kind of industry standard to collect credit cards when booking appointments. So if that's not something that you're doing and you're finding that you do have a lot of no-shows, of course, we can look into different things and increasing your patient retention rate to reduce no-shows, but also collecting credit cards is a great way to reduce those as well. I worked front desk in medical aesthetics. That is where I got my start within the industry. And so he's, just, we need a credit card to book this appointment, and it may weed some people out, and that's okay. If they say, no, thank you, I actually don't want an appointment because you want my credit card, that's okay. That's most likely the patient who would cancel or no show on you. So it's kind of a benefit to that as well. Okay, last but not least, it also improves your marketing efforts. So this is really directly correlated to knowing your target demographic, which I did do a webinar on this, I think back in June. I can't keep track of time anymore. But essentially, if you have a loyal patient base, you know what type of treatments they'd like, you know what they're looking for, you know what type of results they like, you know how they like to be spoken to through marketing, how they like to be communicated with, and it makes marketing way, way easier for you just by knowing them. Okay, so this is why you should focus on patient retention rate. And I always feel like I have like a word or a phrase that I constantly say each webinar, and this one is loyal patient base. So let's count how many times I say that tonight. Okay, so what is the power of patient retention? Retention helps increase lifetime value, so the lifetime value of that patient. The more loyal a patient is, the more they spend typically. And really your goal should be to build lifelong relationships, but professional relationships with your patients, and so that they stick with you for life, or as long as they're having medical aesthetic treatments done. Retention also helps to reduce churn, which is kind of a funny word, but that is loss of patients, or like turnover of patients. Increasing your patient retention rate by just 5%, so a pretty small amount, boosts profits by 25% to 95%, which is amazing. And it can also be up to 8 times more expensive to acquire a new patient than it is to retain an existing one. So when I first saw that, that was a really surprising statistic to me and kind of shocking. So it's definitely worth it to focus on the patients that you have and retaining them versus constantly acquiring new patients. Sorry, let me move my dashboard here. Okay, perfect. Also, research states that loyal customers buy 90% more frequently, they spend 60% more per transaction, and deliver 23% more revenue and profitability than first-time purchasers. Retention is also more cost-effective than acquisition, so we kind of already talked about that, and repeat patients deliver better returns. A business with a 60% customer retention rate is losing 3 to 4 times as many customers as a business with an 80% retention rate. This was a surprising one to me as well. I'm sure it is to you if you haven't heard that before. But just increasing by 20%, you can hold on to those patients, keep them in the chair, keep them happy, and keep that revenue going for you. So everyone say it with me. I know we're not all together, but retention is the new acquisition. So of course, lead generation is really important at times, right? Especially in the beginning, you have to build up patients for sure. But if you are an established clinic and you're kind of finding yourself constantly having to acquire new patients, and maybe your patient retention rate isn't the best, you'd like to improve on that, that's when it's time to definitely look inward, look at your processes, look at different categories, which we'll talk about. I'll give you little tips and tricks and see what you can do to implement to help increase that retention rate. Okay. So these are the different categories I will be going over. So we have a customer or patient experience and service, communication, which I think is very close to patient experience and service, membership and loyalty programs. This is a really big one for patient retention, patient education, pre-booking, as well as continual professional development. So we will go ahead and jump into the patient experience. Here we go. So, which I think, in my opinion, is the most important. Obviously, they're all very important, but the most important category when it comes to patient retention. Someone can be the best injector or the best laser tech, whatever it may be, in the world, but if patients aren't having a great experience with them for some reason, they are less likely to return and stay loyal to that provider. So the patient experience is a combination of feelings, perceptions, and attitudes towards your clinic, from interactions with employees, processes, and the environment. So it's how they feel about your clinic, essentially, and how it makes them feel. So let's talk about some little tips and tricks to enhance and improve the patient experience. First things first is make it personal. When I worked in clinics, a little trick that I would do is when I had patients come in and they would tell me, oh, I'm going on vacation tomorrow, or my daughter's graduating, or my son's getting married, whatever the case may be, whatever's going on in their life, I would write it down in their chart. So I would have like a blank notes section. It was still paper charts at that time, blank notes section, and I would just write little notes like that. So next time they come in and I ask them about that vacation or the baby or, whatever's going on in their life. That really makes them feel special and like I care about them, which I do, of course, right? And that's why I'm doing this. But just getting to know them, getting to know their life really makes a big difference in the patient experience. And any other little ways you can add personal touches, maybe you do little giveaways or something, and you can, engrave their name on, just little things like that to make little personal touches really goes a long way. Also, kind of going back to the personal touch, using their name, in conversation is important as well, especially when they are first coming through the door. The front desk staff should know who they are and greet them by name. Next one is comprehensive consultations and treatment plans. So it's a big one. And I feel like I could do an entire webinar on just that. So consultations are so, so important. It either sets you up for success with that patient, or it can maybe cause some issues, right? Maybe if the consultation wasn't thorough enough and you didn't maybe go over a couple of things, the patient can end up upset. So it really could set you up for success or not. So it's very, very important. So let's kind of start from the very beginning of their appointment. I kind of just mentioned this, but be prepared for them when they walk in that door. Kara and I actually were just talking about this recently because we both hate when this happens to us personally. When you show up for an appointment and they're not ready for you. They're like, oh, what's your name? Oh, let me find your paperwork. And they're like, ooh, they're kind of rummaging through things. It doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel like you're special. It kind of just feels like you're just a number and they weren't ready for you. So that's the first step, is to be prepared. Now, give them that paperwork, whether that is you or your front desk staff, and review the paperwork with them. Take them through, I need you to do this, this, and this, sign at the end, give them instructions. If you are the provider and your front desk staff is doing this for you, I used to like to kind of pop out if I could, right? If I had a free moment, and introduce myself, let them know that I am the one they are going to be seeing today. Let me know if you have any questions on your paperwork. I love your shoes. I love your bag. Your outfit is so cute. That's another really cute little personal touch you can do. Immediately kind of lets them feel at ease because they may be a little nervous for that first time consultation. Now, when they are done with that paperwork, you as the provider should then take that paperwork and review it, not in the consultation room. So take it and review their medications, their medical history, any conditions they have. Maybe you need to do a little research on those things so that you are completely prepared to walk into the consultation room and give them your full recommendation, and you know they are going to, receive safe and effective results. I will talk more about consultation during patient education, but again, ask them what they're looking for. What are your results, or what are your goals, I should say? What would you like to see happen? Thoroughly explain the treatment plan. Let them know about any aftercare. Do they need to stay out of the sun? Should they not be going to Mexico tomorrow, right? That's when we should maybe push out treatment if you're doing a treatment that caused sun sensitivity. So just really very thoroughly reviewing every single little thing, including, and this is something I don't see all the time because this happened to me personally recently, and I was on the other end of it when I worked front desk back in the day, is price transparency. So your patient should not be finding out about the cost of their treatments at the front desk. That can lead to a poor patient experience if they are unpleasantly surprised by the number that is given to them by the front desk staff. So you should be reviewing that with them in the consultation room. And these treatments are not inexpensive. So a lot of people may have to prepare for this. Maybe they need to transfer money, or maybe they need to apply for financing if that's something that you offer, and then you can help walk them through that. So essentially, they should be handing over that credit card and ready to book their appointment at the front desk and not finding out the price. And also comprehensive treatment plans as well. So I think I already mentioned combination therapy and how that gives best possible results as quickly as possible. So that's a great patient experience, right? And I actually read a study, and it was increasing patient retention with combination therapy of neuromodulator and filler. Just simple as that. Patients were happier with their outcomes, therefore they returned back to the clinic. And we can really apply that same concept as, that injectable study to your energy-based devices as well. So really draft a really beautiful, comprehensive treatment plan for each patient. Okay. Next is time management and short waiting times. So it's never fun when you're running behind, right? Sometimes it happens, but definitely make sure you are allotting extra or proper time, I should say, for each appointment. And not just the appointment time, but also the setup, the cleanup, and before and after pictures, aftercare review, whatever it may be. You should almost play a game and kind of have your staff get in on this if you can, to see how short of time or how little time patients can sit in your waiting room. Your goal should be as little time as possible. Yes, your waiting room may be beautiful and comfortable, but we don't want them waiting out there very long. That can not be a great patient experience, right? Although, sometimes we are running behind and that happens, we are human. So if that does happen, it is important to communicate with the patient as well. So whether that's you, if you can pop out really quickly from the appointment that you're with, or if you have front desk staff, they should be communicating with the patient, letting them know, I'm so sorry, she's running a few minutes behind. Can I get you anything else to drink? Maybe kind of stir up conversation with them, kind of distract them. And if you're really running behind, what I actually used to do in clinics, I had access to low to no cost treatments to offer the patient while they were waiting. So for example, like a red LED light they could sit under for a few minutes, or what else? I kind of forget everything else, but skin analysis. That's a great one as well. Get them on a skin analysis machine. It kind of reads their skin. It'll tell them that their skin's probably older than it really is, and then it also will help you sell. But it's just kind of a fun little type of treatment or service you can offer for free that's no cost. So then the patient feels taken care of. They're not just sitting there wondering, okay, how long am I going to be here? They don't feel forgotten. Convenient appointment booking. So online booking is incredible. If that is something that you can offer, that's great. It's something that I personally look for. It's not a deal breaker. I'll definitely see someone if they don't have online booking, but it's something that I love. Reason being, and why it's beneficial to you actually, is patients can book appointments all day long, all night long. If they're up at 2 a.m. with the baby, they can go ahead and book that appointment versus having to wait until 9 a.m. to call, and go through times with the front desk staff. So that's a great way to enhance the patient experience. It's just more convenient. If you are not planning on having online booking, or if you don't have online booking, what's great is to have whoever is answering the phones to always offer appointments. So do not hang up that phone before you say, okay, would you like to schedule an appointment? So-and-so has this day and time available next. Really important to do that. Oh, I missed one at the bottom there. Next is respectful and knowledgeable staff. This is so important. Your staff definitely reflects you and your business. So make sure it is people, your staff are people who really hold the same ethics as you and values as a business. They really relate and they connect with your mission, your values, and your purpose within your business. Make sure everyone's really kind and helpful to the patients all the time, right? Also make sure everyone is knowledgeable, even the front desk staff. And I would say especially the front desk staff, they have a lot of face-to-face time and, on the phone as well with patients. So they have to be able to answer lots of questions. And I learned so much when I worked front desk because of this. They basically should know the basics of each treatment and product that you offer. And then when patients start to, maybe ask deeper questions, they should be offering that free consultation appointment. Your staff, your providers, I should say, should also know about all the treatments and products that you offer, even if they don't personally offer them. So your esthetician should know a little bit about injectables and laser and whatever the case may be. And your nurse or whoever should know a lot about skincare and the pre-made dermafacial and dermafuse as well. That way they can cross-sell to each other. So next is clinic aesthetic. So not aesthetic clinic, but clinic aesthetic. So the vibe of the clinic and cleanliness, which I think is definitely a no-brainer, but I had to throw it in there. So make sure your clinic is nice and warm and inviting. If you can, excuse me, include your branding within your clinic aesthetic, that's always great, as well as an Instagrammable, this is kind of a bonus, an Instagrammable spot in your clinic. So whether it's a flower wall or a neon light, something that people can snap pictures of or snap pictures with, and then they're sharing that to social media, and that increases your reach. Make sure you're always prepared for their appointment. So just like the front desk staff, we're getting set up beforehand. That way, when they're in your room, you can solely focus on them and their treatment, and you're not, rummaging and digging for things. Offer complimentary refreshments. I kind of think everyone does this, but it's just a nice touch. I don't know if anyone follows the Dallas esthetician, but she always has like this huge thing of water with a bunch of different fruit. And I think she changes it out or has new fruit like daily or weekly. So that's a really nice touch. We also have a customer who's in New York. I believe her clinic name is Skin Java, if I remember that correctly. And last time I spoke to her, she was telling me she was going to start offering coffee at her clinic, which is perfect. So that includes her branding, Skin Java, refreshments, personalization, all of those things. So that's great. Also, make sure you are investing in cutting edge technology. Medical aesthetics is constantly changing, like every day, I think, or nearly every day, it feels like. So you want to be sure to keep up with the times for the most part, right? You don't necessarily need to invest in every single technology or a technology that doesn't fit in your clinic or maybe within your ethics, whatever it may be. But you want to be able to offer a wide variety of treatment options and have treatments that are very in demand. That way, when patients or potential patients are calling in and asking, like, do you have a dermafacial? Yes, I do. I have the pre-May. And that's something I always talk about with the pre-May, is that it is all about patient experience. Yes, it provides really beautiful results, right? It's cleaning the skin really well. It's exfoliating, it's hydrating the skin, it's rejuvenating, all of those things. But for the most part, it is all about patient experience. It feels great. They are relaxed while you're doing the treatment. The treatment experience is really robust because you have so many hand pieces. So that's a big one. That's really great for patient experience. Education and aftercare is important. I'll talk more about this on another slide, and then follow-up and ongoing support, which I'll talk about that as well. Sorry, I need my little emotional support water bottle here. Okay. So next, just some qualities or some things you can kind of focus on to have exceptional customer service. So first, again, kind of a no-brainer, but I thought I'd throw it in there. Be friendly. Every single person in your office should be friendly. Maybe a rude front desk staff or something you've probably personally experienced in your life, it really decreases the patient experience. You're like, ugh, that was not great. So it's definitely important that everyone is friendly. Have a pleasant greeting, be helpful, understand their needs and wants, and don't speak down or above. Promptly address any issues. So we are humans working with humans. Of course, issues will arise, right? But how you address them is very, very important. So make sure you are always actively listening to the complaint, provide solutions while maintaining professionalism. And then also be preventative, whether this is you or maybe you have some staff that, front desk staff and whatnot. Thoroughly review schedule for any errors. So, for the week, kind of go through, make sure everything looks good. That way you're not having to call and reschedule patients. That's never a good feeling. And also review inventory regularly. It's kind of another thing. If you don't have proper inventory, and then you have to reschedule patients, and that's a bummer. So check on those things. Also be responsive. So any missed messages and calls should be addressed as quickly as possible. So this may be us in our personal lives sometimes. I'm definitely guilty. But make sure you are not mentally responding to patients and that you are actually responding to them. Throw a little meme in there when I can. So what does a great patient experience, I almost said patient retention, get you besides a great patient retention rate? Reputation. So when patients have a great experience, they will leave positive reviews and recommendations, which will help establish credibility and strengthen trust between you and your patients. Rave reviews also set businesses apart from competitors. It's huge. So this is highly crucial part, and it's part of choosing a clinic, as patients want assurance from others that you are the best option for them. I don't know about you, but especially in the beauty industry, if I see a clinic and they don't have reviews, I'm like, I'm not going there. I need to know from the rest of the public what to expect, right? So reviews are so, so important. And when you have a loyal patient base and a great patient retention rate, you can expect great reviews. It also helps to improve reach. I kind of think I already mentioned this, but the transition to the digital landscape has really emphasized the growing relationship between patient experience and retention. Reviews and mentions boost a company's digital footprint, making it easier for people to find a business on search and review sites. So it's really important to be visible. When patients mention your clinic on social platforms or tag you in a post, they reach their followers, who again are most likely your target demographic. And that word of mouth is really powerful, but it's hard to have that without first having great patient retention and then referring their friends to you. Referrals, huh? Happy patients will recommend a business to their friends, family, and colleagues. They already know your clinic has what they're looking for. And because someone they trust recommended you, selling treatments is a lot easier. They already know you're great. They already know that their friend gets great results. So selling treatments is a lot easier for sure. So a little statistic here for you. Customer service helps businesses stand out from the crowd. 94% of consumers say how they're treated influences their purchasing decision. Now, this is on a general scale. So kind of, I think, any customer service related business, which is most of them, right? But think about how much more the patient experience and customer service is, how much more important it is, I should say, in our industry that is about you helping patients to look and feel good and care for them. And it is a luxury industry. I almost said injury industry. So you have to have a great patient experience and customer service. Okay, I think I could have just done the webinar on that and been done. Kidding. Okay, so we're going to talk about communication, which really goes hand in hand with patient experience. Because poor communication can lead to some issues, right? And just like with any relationship in our life, really great communication with your patients is vital. So sending them appointment reminders before their appointment, just sending them a quick reminder. So when I worked front desk, this was vital. People lived by the appointment reminders, or else they did not remember. And then of course that can increase your no-shows. So if you have an automated system, obviously that's definitely easiest. Sending out a text, maybe I've kind of seen different things like a week before, and then if you don't confirm, you get another text maybe 48 hours before, 24 hours before, and so on. So whatever works for you there. If patient does not confirm through the automated system, definitely make sure you are giving them a call to confirm. Also, inform patients of special offers and new treatments and products. So when I worked in clinics, people also lived for promotions. They would come in and look at the board in the back and be like, ooh, what's on sale this month? And they would get all excited about it. So promotions are great. Inform them maybe through e-blast, text, whatever form of communication you use with your patient. And for those very loyal patients, like your best patients who spend the most money with you and they're always on time, those perfect patients, or maybe a patient is interested in a particular service. Once that service, if you have a promotion on it, give them a call personally. That's another really nice personalized touch for that patient experience, and let them know that their favorite treatment is on sale. Also, when you bring on new technology and products, it becomes a lot easier to recommend them when you have a loyal patient base. They already trust you. They'll be like, yeah, I'll do whatever you want me to, for sure. So it becomes a lot easier for sure. And make sure you let them know. Give everyone a call, send out texts, emails, letting them know you have new technology. Follow-up calls and visits. This is a nice personal touch as well. Now, I don't think you have to do it every single appointment for every single patient, right? I think that's a little much. And I think you could have someone working full-time to just do that. So we don't want that. Maybe an automated system would be a little bit easier. But for new patients, for sure, call them the next day or text them. How are you feeling? How's everything looking? Do you have any questions? Maybe it isn't already established loyal patient, but you did a new service on them. Once again, how are you looking? How are you feeling? And so on. Nice personal touch. They feel like you care about them, which of course you do, right? And also follow-up visits. Now, of course, you don't have to do that every time, but when you finish your packages, right? So say if you did 8 V-form treatments, let's make sure you come back in 3 to 4 months, not only for your maintenance treatment, but to get your final photos as well. So schedule those follow-up visits too. I don't know if anyone else has been in this situation before, but when I worked in clinic, every once in a while there was a time where you're worried about a patient for some reason. Maybe their skin was a little bit more red than normal when they left, and you're just kind of like, ooh, or maybe I caused a bruise. I don't know. You're just kind of worried, and it almost keeps you up at night. It's the worst. So that's kind of another great reason for a follow-up call, is to not only check on them, make sure everything's looking good and they're feeling okay, but it also helps ease your mind in those situations too. It's like a breath. Whew, I can sleep tonight. Social media presence. I have a whole webinar on social media one-on-one, the importance of social media. It is huge, right? It increases your reach. So how many potential patients and patients see you? It helps build trust and connection with patients and with followers, especially when you are showing up, like actually showing up on social media, your face, talking to them. They really start to trust and connect with you. You can talk to them through social media. So it's a way to connect with them. So there are so many reasons to consistently post on social media and use that as part of your communication platforms. Make sure you inform all patients of any policies. So whether it's over the phone because it's a new patient, letting them know there is a $50, cancel fee or no-show fee, just to let you know. If you are 15 minutes late, we unfortunately will have to cancel your appointment just due to scheduling conflicts. Anything like that, just in case it happens, they're then not upset about it, right? They knew about it. Maybe you can include that in paperwork so they've signed. Again, it's not an unpleasant surprise to them. Also, this is really important, I think. Communicate with your patients throughout their appointment, especially if they're new or they're trying something new. I probably over-communicate, especially with IPL. I'm always asking, how's your skin feeling? Do you feel any warmth? Because I would rather over-communicate and know what they're feeling before I increase their settings, right? For an example. And I think it's nice just to let them know what you're doing. Usually maybe their eyes are closed or they're laying down and you're behind them, so they can't really see what's going on. Just let them know, okay, I'm going to do this. You're going to feel this. Just let me know how you're doing. Really important part of the patient experience. Also, make sure you stay in touch in between visits. So whether you're sending out promotional texts, birthday texts, an anniversary, not like their wedding anniversary. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but the anniversary of when they became a patient. I had a clinic do this for me once, and I was like, oh, it had been a year, and I'm like, oh, that's so nice. And they offered like 10% off or something. Really great personal touch, and help to get them back in the door too. Always make sure to use multiple channels of communication and choosing the correct form of communication for each patient, because everyone varies, right? Maybe you have some older patients who prefer phone calls. You have your millennials who prefer text, for sure. I can tell you that much. So make sure you are doing that so that you can reach them. All right, next we will get into memberships and loyalty programs. So this is a really great way to help improve patient retention, patient experience, and enhance results as well. And if you don't want to implement a membership, that's okay. It may not work for you for some reason, but you should definitely have a loyalty program. We'll talk about why. There we go. So what are the benefits of memberships and loyalty programs? So it incentivizes patients to continue treatments with only your clinic. So whether they're in a loyalty program with you and they're earning those points towards, money off their next treatment, or they are in a membership. Memberships ideally should be contractual. You hold them accountable for sure, but they can also start to try other treatments, which is great, and kind of dip their toes into other things. Patients feel a sense of commitment to reap the benefits that they've earned. As an example, outside of our industry is, for me personally, I always go to Starbucks because I'm earning my stars and I'm getting closer every single day to my free coffee. So if I have Starbucks and another coffee place right next door, I am choosing Starbucks because I am earning rewards for free coffee or food, or whatever it may be. Same concept applies here. They are earning points towards free services or money off their next service, so they will keep coming back to you. It also helps to increase referrals and reviews because they are consistent, and more so specifically with membership programs, they are more consistent, so they are seeing really great results. They love you, right? They're part of your membership. They definitely like you and are loyal to you. They are then going to, bring all their friends in and write you a rave review. So another way to boost that. Patients will also feel special and appreciated. I'd say more specifically with loyalty programs, for sure, you are literally rewarding them for their loyalty. That feels great. Feels like you appreciate them, which you do, of course, and that you care that they are giving you their business. They could feel special in a membership program as well, because they do earn certain discounts and whatnot, depending on the structure of your membership. Better clinical outcomes simply because they are more consistent, right? Whether they're coming monthly or seasonally. And also they're most likely going through combination treatments too. So another way to really boost clinical outcome. Memberships also help to expand interest in other treatments. I kind of already mentioned that. Depending on how you structure it. I'll actually go over some memberships and loyalty programs that we have on our customer portal. It's mysinclairshop.com, and it is under practice development. It should say, the little file should say memberships and loyalty programs, I think, pretty easy. But for example, I know it's hard to read, it's teeny tiny. This is just one of them that we have for you guys, and you can use this just as it is. You could put this on your website tomorrow if you wanted to, or you can use it as inspiration and kind of draft your own membership or loyalty program. So for this one, this is a monthly membership. Now, Silver lets you pick one from the list, and there's IPL skin rejuvenation, radio frequency treatments, microdermabrasion, peels, dermafuse, and so on. And then they also receive 10% off. It's like a membership discount, 10% off some other services. So whether it's Botox or fillers, whatever it may be, whatever works for you financially. And then Gold, it's just another step up. They get to pick two from that same list. They get a bigger discount on other services. Platinum, they get to pick three from the list, and then they get an even bigger discount on those other services. And then loyalty programs, again, this is just one that we have offered, but spend $50, you receive 5% off, and so on. And definitely, if you're kind of drafting your own, make sure that you include little, asterisks at the bottom, making sure that they're not getting free treatments, right? We are discounting essentially because of their loyalty. So just make sure you are covered and you are making money. That is important. You don't want your membership to be losing money for you. So make sure it works for you financially for sure. And let us know if you ever need help building a membership or something. We're definitely here to help you. Okay, so next is patient education. So I kind of mentioned earlier that I would talk a bit more about consultations. Managing patient expectations in your consultations is vital. It is a must, right? And the best question that I like to ask is, what are your goals? What are the outcomes that you would be happy with this treatment that you're interested in? And if they are, let's say they are looking for a surgical result. Maybe they're like, I want to look like I've had a tummy tuck. Well, we can really achieve really amazing skin tightening results with V-Form, but I just want to make sure, that you would be happy with non-invasive medical aesthetic results. Because if someone is expecting surgical results, well, sometimes I kind of think we can achieve that sometimes, right? Kind of depending, but sometimes results are really, really amazing. You really want to make sure that they will be happy with the outcome that the treatment will provide. If not, if you don't go over expectations and they're expecting something else than the treatment provides, they're disappointed at the end. And then, that comes with a whole big mess. They want a refund, whatever the case may be. So really make sure you are managing those expectations. I think it's the most important part of our jobs, I think. Of course, we can learn protocols and treatments and settings and whatnot, and those are very important, but you have to manage those expectations. Explain the why and the how of treatments and aftercare. So when you draft up a really beautiful treatment plan, and let's, for example, talk about combination therapy, tell them why you are deciding to choose different hand pieces. Just kind of explain, and it doesn't have to be very sciencey, right? Unless a patient is into that. Otherwise, you kind of lose them and they're like, I don't know what the heck you just said. But let them know, again, kind of referring back to combination therapy. Our skin ages in different layers, right? It's all aging. In the epidermis, our melanocytes are aging and they're getting larger. Therefore, you have hyperpigmentation. Plus, our skin gets texture. We don't have that high turnover rate any longer. And the dermis, our skin is aging because collagen is not being produced really any longer, not as much as it used to. Also, glycosaminoglycans really aren't there like they used to either. So the moisture in our skin depletes. And then in the fat cell layer, we go even deeper. Our fat pads disperse in our face, and that's when we start to get the jowling and kind of the heavy weight in the lower face. So explaining why you're doing IPL, why you're doing ST, and why you're doing V-Form to give them the best possible results. And that was just an example. And also aftercare too, which I think is my next point. Really important to review aftercare, not only to give them the best results, but also to avoid any issues, right? And review it with them. Sit down and tell them, specifically with VFR, they have a lot more care that they have to put into their skin. Go into why and how to do each step, just so they have the best results. Give patients opportunities to ask questions. This is something I always do, even in my trainings today. Do you have any questions? Just leave the floor open for them. They may need that little prompting to go ahead and ask what they need. Inform patients of any policies. I feel like I already mentioned that. Sorry, I think that might be in there twice. Send patients home with educational materials, so like pamphlets, any online resources you may have, etc. We do have some really beautiful pamphlets on mysinclairshop.com that you can always order from. Okay. We are just about done. Thanks for hanging in there with me. So let's talk about pre-booking. Pre-booking is the best way to set you up for success and to increase your patient retention rate. Like, it's the actual act of booking out your schedule, right? So it increases retention rate, of course, and predictable revenue. When you see your schedule and it's busy in the coming weeks and months, you're way more likely to predict what your income will be and what your revenue will be. It increases productivity and sets your business up for success, for sure. And it allows for more scheduling availability and space for add-ons. So as you get really busy and you're maybe some patients didn't pre-book, and it gets closer to the time that they're wanting an appointment, it's a little bit harder to fit them in. So then they don't have the choice of times. And also add space for add-ons. So, with the further you book out, the more space you have, you can say, oh, we did talk about dermafuse today. Did you want to add that on next time? I have the availability for it. Yes, absolutely. Patients seek guidance and support from you, meaning they want to know when you want them back. So just tell them. Don't be afraid to say, hey, I would like to see you back in 4 weeks or 2 weeks, whatever the case may be. Just be very confident and state your scheduling recommendations. Just think, when you go to the doctor's office, that's what they do. And you're like, okay, absolutely. I will be back in 4 weeks for sure. It's the same exact concept here. So in your treatment room, let them know, okay, I'd like to see you back in 4 weeks. That way, when you walk them up to the front desk, which I think is a very important part of the patient experience, you want to walk them up there. You don't want them just kind of wandering like, oh, wait, should I go left or right? Where's the front desk? You want to guide them there and just state to the front desk staff, okay, I would like to see so-and-so back in 4 weeks. Your front desk staff should then be trained to say, okay, her next availability around that time is this date and time. Does that work for you? Or what dates and times work best for you? Really try not to let a patient leave without pre-booking. If a patient says, oh, you know what, let me check my schedule, which I'm guilty of that. I should be better about it, but my schedule is crazy with traveling, but I know how important pre-booking is, so I should be better about it. But if they say, oh, let me check my schedule really quickly, I'll call you back in like a week or whatever. Say, okay, would you like to maybe book an appointment around that time for a day and a time that you think would work best for you? And then you can call us back once you check your schedule, tomorrow or whatnot. And we can always quickly just move that appointment really easily, but we can at least get you on the books. Perfect. And if they still say, no, that's okay, let me call back, obviously, you can stop there. But you tried everything you could. And I have a lot of providers do this for me personally when I go in for neuromodulator. They say, okay, would you like to book your appointment in 3 to 4 months? And I'm like, oh, let me call. Like, I have no idea where I'm going to be in 3 to 4 months. They say, okay, well, we can still get you on the schedule. So that way you at least get a reminder that it's time to book your next appointment. So that's good phrasing as well. Patients really should feel like a priority and like their business matters. So don't leave them wondering, when should I come back? Like, I guess I should ask, like, when should I, asking front desk staff, when should I come back again? They should already know that. Really take all of the heavy lifting and all of the thinking away from them and really implement these processes to really streamline that pre-booking and increase your pre-booking rate as well. Okay. You should make it a daily goal to reach 100% pre-book rate. That is a great goal to have. Of course, some days you'll definitely hit that, maybe others not so much, but a lot of these little things can really become a fun game within your clinic and your staff. Make it a competition, really provide incentives for high pre-book rate from the front desk staff or from, your providers and whatnot. It's work for sure, but it can be really, really fun and rewarding as well. So make it fun. All right, we'll talk about professional development next. So I think I said this earlier, medical aesthetic industry is continually evolving. So consistently attending continuing education courses like Sinclair College, Beauty Boss, or these online courses like you're doing now. Thanks so much for being here. Is a great way to increase patient retention rate because they will give you the skills to continually elevate your business and really make sure you are sharing with your patients, maybe through social media, or maybe you're, telling them, hey, the clinic will be closed this Friday because I'm going to an event with Sinclair. I'm really excited to learn this new technology or, these new practice development tips. They will really appreciate that. And it really shows that you really care about them, their outcomes, and their business for sure. So we have a lot of different continuing education courses. I actually have a reel on the Sinclair Beauty Boss Instagram page that goes through each course and tells you a little bit about it. That way you can pick what course is best for you. So you can watch that if you need, but you can always ask us any questions that you may have. Okay, and that is all I have for tonight. If you have any questions, please, or anything that works for you that has helped improve your patient retention rate, you can unmute yourself. You can type into the chat box. Please let us know. While I'm waiting for any questions to pop up, here is a QR code. If you are new to us, this would take you to our website so you can learn more about our technologies, as well as you can always email us. We have so many different departments to help you succeed in your business. So let us know what you need. I think I have a chat here. Let me see. Beauty Boss. So Beauty Boss is an event. It's 2 days. One day is all clinical. So you are hearing the best speakers within the industry on different clinical topics. And then the next day is practice development and marketing. So again, amazing industry speakers on those topics. So it's a great way to level up your clinical outcomes, but also the practice development side as well. It's our biggest event of the year. It's really fun. We have a really good time and love seeing everyone. And yeah, let me know if you have any other questions on that. Awesome. Any other questions or comments? I'll give it just a second. Okay, well, if you do have any questions that arise, you can go ahead and always email us. I also have our Instagram here, and that is us on Facebook as well. That is my work Instagram. I'm not quite on Facebook any longer. So would love to follow each other for sure. So if there are no more questions, let me check the chat. I think we're good. Well, that is all I have. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Let us know anything else you need, and we will be back here soon. It'll be Kara and I, October 11th for our next webinar. We will be talking about the ultimate treatments for tech neck. So those lines in the neck that are typically created by our cell phone looking downward. So we're really, really excited for that one. So we will see you there soon. Thanks so much. Bye.